from National Gallery, Singapore. And in today's tutorial, we will be making a circular patterned weave inspired by the wonderfully amazing woman artist Pacita Abad.
This artwork is titled Evil Eye by Pacita Abad. Can you guess how it's made? It's a combination of painting and stitching, and it has colorful buttons and rick-rack ribbons. The patterns in this artwork go in a circular manner, so we can look at it row by row. Let's start from the middle. Can you spot the oval shape? Or maybe you can even say an eye shape. Now let's look at the next circular row. A pattern is something that is repeated. Notice the repeat of squiggles and dots. And in the following rows, you'll notice patterns consisting of different lines, shapes, and colors. Wavy lines, zigzag lines, diamond shapes, ovals in red, blue, and yellow. Okay, I think we are now ready to create our own circular patterned artwork, which we will be doing by weaving. To begin, we will need a bowl, a cardboard, masking tape, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. We need yarn, then see if you have anything left over, perhaps from previous projects, anything like laces or ribbons. Kitchen twine works too. See if you have any beads or charms, perhaps left over from a bracelet making kit. Then ask your mom or grandma if they have any odd buttons lying around. Now that we have all our materials, we can use our bowl to trace out a circle on our cardboard. Then carefully cut around it. Don't throw away that extra bit because we will be reusing it for later. Use your pencil to mark out an odd number of slots. I'm using my fingers to help me space them out nicely. I have 13 slots. Now, use your scissors to make small slits about 2 centimeters in all around your circle. Slot your first yarn in any one of those slits, tape it down on the back, flip your circle, pull your yarn down and slot it into that slit right across. There should be 5 slits on this side and 6 over here. We want to follow the arrow over here. So grab your yarn and slot it in the slit right next to it. Pull it across to make a thin X. This slit over here makes a fat X, so nope. This slit over here is the right one. It makes a thin X. Now turn your circle around. Follow the arrow. Slot your yarn in the next slit. Pull it across to make a thin X. Turn your circle around. Follow the arrow. Slot it in the next slit. Pull it across to make a thin X. Turn your circle around and just keep going. When you have only one slit left, you'll need to feed your yarn under and through that crisscross. But first, make a cut on your yarn. Then, feed it under that crisscross, through and pull out. Tug on your yarn to find the very one that you fed under and through the crisscross. Now we can begin weaving. Try to keep your finger right on the crisscross part until you've weaved one full circle. This is just so we can keep our pattern centralized to the cardboard. Weaving follows an under and over pattern. So we will feed our yarn under and over, under and over, under and over. When you've made your first circle, You can let your finger go. Now, continue the pattern until you're out of yarn. I'm almost out of yarn now, but first let me add in a bead. This bead is big enough for my yarn to fit through easily. Okay guys, I think we're ready to bring in another color. I've chosen orange. Now, put your two colors together to make a knot. Wrap them up around your finger to make a loop. Feed that bead through and pull. Now, trim off that excess. Pull that orange yarn as long as your arm is and cut. Okay, now what do? We continue with the pattern of going under and over. But you'll find that you have a long piece of yarn to pull through. Hang on guys, I have just a trick for you. Remember that leftover piece of cardboard from cutting your circle? Cut a small piece out like this and trim it a little. Now you wind your yarn around to use it as a spool. And plus, that pointy tip is very useful for weaving under and over. It's time to add in another bead, but my yarn is too thick and just won't fit through. So here's what I do. I roll my yarn and needle into a tape, make it tight, then I trim off the excess, and voila, my bead goes through. If you also need to use a needle to fit your bead through, do ask an adult for help. Now we repeat. Make a knot for your new color. Card an arm's length of yarn. Wind it around your spool. Weave under and over, under and over. Add in a charm. And use a tape and needle to fit it through. Now we repeat with as many rows as we want. Here I'm using my fuzzy yarn, leftover lace from an old project, and my colorful yarn. You can repeat with whatever you can find at home. And finally, the last row in my circle weaving pattern. Now I'm ready to finish my pattern. So I will loop backwards and go under and through that strand. And you will see that I have a knot. And I'll cover that knot up with this charm. Pull my ribbon back into the nearest slot, tape it back, cut the excess, and finished. How do you like your artwork? Do the colors, beads, and circular pattern remind you of Pacita Abad's evil eye? You could try it again and again. It's fun to see how differently each one will turn out.
I hope you guys had fun today. Thank you for joining me and hope to see you soon. Bye bye!